YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video. Now this comes from Corey Holcomb. Now there's been a lot of controversy between Corey Holcomb and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and I know a while back I did cover like a clip of her content of her on Cam Newton's podcast. She has some good things to say on the podcast, but since then there's been a lot of controversy about her, whether she's an actual doctor. Corey Holcomb was very vocal about that. They kind of had some words back and forth, and I just want to give my 2 cents on some of the things that she's talked about that I don't really agree with. Even though I did agree with some of the stuff she says, there's a bit of a contradiction in what she says and what is transpiring in her life allegedly. So I want to kind of talk about that a little bit, and I want to get your thoughts on it, and what do y'all think about her and what she says and how her life reflects it. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. If you like the content, share and like it as well, okay? And hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
When somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research.
And it was what?
I don't see doctor nowhere. If somebody is a doctor, they will be proud to show you, I'm a doctor. She can't do it. She just says it. This is a fantasy that woman is living. I mean, like, you don't see everybody to see you, Sister Bryant. We know it's a girl you call your bodyguard, but we know it's more to it than that.
Now, there was this picture that surfaced of the woman who is allegedly her bodyguard. And allegedly they're saying that that is her girlfriend. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's why I'm saying allegedly, but that is what they are saying. And, you know, some people are speculating that she may actually be a lesbian or have been in a lesbian relationship or is in a lesbian relationship. You know, I can't confirm that, nor do I really care about that, but I think others might care if she's giving relationship advice, if she's telling people what they should be doing when it comes to relationships and things of that nature. The same way a lot of single women try to tell other women how they should be looking for a man or what they should be doing, but they don't have a man themselves. People just want to generally know if you really are what you say you are, and if you really are what the things that you talk about. And so when you have people who are heavily opinionated when it comes to marriage or relationships and men and what you should be doing, the next thing is for people to want to know if you have a man. And if you don't have one, then you become questionable. Why don't you have a husband after all this time? Why couldn't you find the man that you're telling other people they should be looking for? So it's a natural thing to do. I'm just saying, but let's continue.
Where is the proof that you're a doctor? Can you just do that online instead of all of the glamour videos with all the makeup on and everything? Show us you're a doctor and how you became a doctor and how you practice being a doctor. You're just doing internet talk like everybody else, except you wanted to put doctor on your name. Prove to me you're a doctor so I can eat crow and apologize. But don't come with that little nonsense online. That ain't gonna work on me. And all that low vibrational women stuff. You used to work at the strip club, right? She talked about the things that she's done to men and how she kicks up dust with men on purpose that so-called love her.
Wait, so she was a stripper, allegedly? I've never heard that. Let me know if y'all heard that. I have never heard that, but I didn't know that. See, you find out something new every day. I did not hear that. I did not know that. Let's continue.
Y'all video until my girl showed me this.
Which one?
When you hit her with that 50 cent and she was stuck, it was classic, but that's not promoted.
But that,
because she praised 50 Cent because there's opportunity maybe there for her. Now, this ain't no diss to 50 Cent. 50 Cent, you know, he walked up to her and like, as she said, he was like, you're amazing or whatever. We know how the game go, but she wouldn't say nothing bad about 50 Cent because that opportunity might not be gone yet. But when the opportunity with 50 is gone, she'll be calling him low vibrational and all that. Because I don't think she really like men. I think she like women. Women who run through men that she's with and she say she like. Have you heard some of the stuff she said she did to the men that she was in relationships with?
No.
Yeah, I knew you didn't know that. I've watched that lady since I was on the show with her a long time ago.
Now, I did hear her say in a clip on the Breakfast Club where she said that she dated a guy for 10 years, but she knew he wasn't her guy. That sounds like you manipulated the man. It sounds like you used him and then moved on to the next. It doesn't sound like it was a bad guy, because she didn't say he was a bad guy. He was a good guy, but she just wasn't interested in him, so she used him to her advantage, and then she moved on. That sounds like what we hear nowadays of how a lot of people like to use men for their resources and then go to the guy or whoever they really want to be with. And that's why I think it's important to really, just like you vet men and women for relationships, you really have to pay attention to what people are saying and see if it really aligns with what you're interested in and where you're trying to go. Because you just can't just buy into anybody. You can't just buy into people because they look good and it sound good and just take their word for it and then start to find out things about them later on that you don't really align with. That's why it's important to pay attention to what people say. Pay attention to how they move. Pay attention to their livelihood and what they have going on. Because a lot of times, and I'm just going to be honest, a lot of times, and it's not personal to anyone, but a lot of times people talk a good game, but when you start getting into their life, you start to see, pick it apart. You start to see all the holes in their own lives that don't reflect the things that they talk about. And if you're out here just telling people what they want to hear and your life doesn't reflect anything you say whatsoever, that's typically a problem. People want to know if you have a good track record, if your record speaks for what you're trying to tell everybody else. And that's how I go about it as well. I don't just, I can hear you, but I'm not, holding on to your every word, just believing everything that you say because it sounds good. Sounds good, but you should have a certain history that reflects the things that you're talking about. And it should start from way back. It shouldn't have just started yesterday. There should be a history of you coming from a place, learning from certain things, maturing, advancing, getting to where you are, and then to the point where you can actually teach people and tell people based off of your experience. Because to me, experience is the best teacher. When you have a track record of doing what you're telling others to do, then that makes more sense to me. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. Let me know in the comments. But let's continue.
I was on a show with her, with one of my homeboys, Zoe Williams. He had a show. And that lady, if her real story came out, she would be a farce, I believe. I don't think she's a doctor, and I'm putting it out there. I don't think she's a doctor. If I am, show me where you got your doctorate, and I would love to talk to some of your colleagues.
But I think that's not necessarily in that case how you feel, because I think that's just her direction that she wants to go. I do call Cap.
She's lying and saying she's a doctor.
No, that's a stage name for all. Even if she's not, she's made some great points. She's made some points that I would say in this world of content, she has provoked thought.
High-valued man is more about value.
Well, I think a lot of people in this space have provoked thought. It makes you think about certain things. It don't mean you know fully what you're talking about, and it doesn't make you an expert in it. To me, life lessons and experience makes you better at certain things, because especially if you've learned from them, you've experienced certain things, if you went through it, you've learned from it, you apply certain things that you've learned and made a difference and changed your situation around, and now you've got the outcome that you've been saying you wanted based off of the changes that you made. To me, that's what I want to hear, because you can actually be the blueprint to try to tell other people how they can do the same thing too. But if you're still trying to tell people how to do certain things and you haven't been able to achieve it yourself, then that's a little sketchy to me. If you have that experience, you can use your experience as a testimony to tell others that, hey, if you follow this, then you could possibly have this because I did it too. That to me is what it should be. When you're really out here trying to give people advice on certain things, let's continue.
What are you offering financially? What can you do for me? How can you provide for me? It has nothing to do with emotions. This is why you have a lot of high-valued women and men who are extremely low functioning. It is statistically known that high valued women, not functioning, high value women, meaning powerhouse, makes money, elected official, doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, whatever she does, she's just killing it. She does well. Educated, not educated, she just does her thing financially. She's high valued. Often end up with low functioning men.
Why?
And it's because she has high value, she doesn't have high function. Law of attraction, we attract who we are despite of who we think we are. So the man living in his mama's house that you described, right? Mm-hmm. That's based on society, that's a low value man.
Reality, not
That's
society.
fine, you can say
reality.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Right.
Value is not a functioning. High functioning is how you function. Has nothing to do with money or where you live or how you drive.
Right.
Okay. Value is the word value because it's it's what you said. How valuable are you? Mm-hmm. How valuable are you, sis? What you bringing to the table?
Okay. Now.
Those are two different things.
I just want to stop you right there before I lose my. If the man doesn't have high value,
yes,
he will not spark the interest of no woman. Let's just put it like that. So it runs.
Then answer this
in
question.
Conjuncture.
Why are most low value? And low value man just means, I'll go street terms, broke.
Yes.
Okay? They're married. Them Negroes are married.
But you can't
hold
say
on, hold
that's
on.
a subjective
no,
thing.
That's
you
not.
Can't
That's
say most because that's not true.
Statistically, when it comes to socioeconomics, Google it, have somebody here on your team pull it up. Socioeconomically, women, Google it, predominantly black women, socioeconomically, are exceeding when it comes to money, street term, bread. Hold on. That means if they marry, they're married to a man who's making less money, no money, or broke money.
I don't know if I believe those statistics because there are a lot of black women who are at the bottom. It's a small percentage of women who actually make a substantial amount of money. It's not a high number. I mean, the numbers aren't much different overall for black, white, and other races of people. I still don't understand where they get these statistics of black women are excelling so high in high numbers. I think it's a small percentage of black women who are excelling, and the reason they're with men who make less because the majority of men in general, black or white, don't make high absorbance amounts of money. So all across the board, they're not making that amount of money. A lot of these women can't get the men that they want. This is based on what she's saying. It will correlate to what everybody's been saying. The women who do make, a decent amount of money, they can't get men on the levels who make that same amount of money because the men who they want don't want them. So it's really not about the money for the men, but for the women, they're looking for their equal financially. They're looking for a man who makes what they make so that they can feel like they have, their equal. But only looking at money, not the qualities of the man. And let me just say this whole low functioning and high functioning, I don't know. I think this is a bunch of BS. I mean, what is low in my opinion, when you talk about low functioning, high functioning, how do you function? Who are you as a person? All that has to do with your personality, your morals and your values that you have for yourself. How do you present yourself? How do you function? What do you do? What type of person you are? All this, people create these terms and it really don't mean much. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, everybody's trying to sound more high functional and better than they actually are. Look, let's just be real. I believe in just getting to the nitty gritty. I don't give a damn how you try to word it or how you put it. Get to the bottom of the issues. Get to the point. The point is a lot of these so-called educated women who've been to college think they're better than average men. And they refuse to date or marry a man who makes average income because they think they're better. I don't like the foolery of it all, the fakery of it all. I like to get to the point of what it really is and move on. Something that can actually help somebody and really give somebody some genuine advice and not all this fluff stuff and all these, high functioning, low functioning, high value, low value. I think it's disrespectful to call somebody low value. Because your value shouldn't be tied to your money. Do you bring anything else to the table? Do you have any other value or substance to who you are that is beneficial to a partner and a family and all of that. And that's the part a lot of people look over, and they keep going for the money and they keep failing every single time. So that's just how I see that. But baby, let's continue.
Low valued men are married to somebody, whether she low, high, whatever. He got him a wife. And let me go a little further. And usually if you don't have a wife, he got a whole hell of a lot of kids by different women.
Watch out now. Watch out, you're speeding.
Yeah, I am.
You're speeding.
I'm poking
speed. We
speed.
going there. Hold on. Let me take this.
So I was talking to a guy for 1 week.
Yes.
7 days. I said, let me ask you something. How many other women are you talking to?
This is date one.
This is day
week
7.
one. Week one. Yes.
Week one.
Okay. Day 7.
Yes.
Because we were long distance.
Yes.
So it was a lot of conversation on day 7.
Right.
I said, you're creating a space for me that is making me feel like I want to give more of myself. But before I do that, I have a question. How many other women are you talking to? And he said, none. I said, okay. I said, and before we move forward with me giving more of myself, and when I say more of myself, I'm speaking of my emotions and my time, not my body, at least not at that space. I said, I'm an access woman. So before you can access anything of me, my heart, my body, my mind, I'm going to need access to what I believe creates a safe space for me. And that is passwords to your phone. I don't need keys to your house. I'm not saying I need the password on week 1. What I'm saying is, are you comfortable with doing that when we get to that space? I have often been accused of being a queer, a lesbian, and having a fine woman hiding in the closet. I'm also a strong Christian and I know my Bible well, okay? But as a heterosexual woman, straight woman, how can I answer that question, y'all, and be strong in my opinion without being accused of being homophobic?
Listen, what do you guys think about all of this? I don't know. I think it's just a lot. It's a lot to process and take in, because she says a lot and she's all over the place. And so I've seen her on several different podcasts, and she talks a lot and she says a lot of different things, and it's kind of almost hard to keep up. I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Cheyenne Bryant? Do you think that she's a real doctor? Do you think that she's allegedly an undercover lesbian? Do you guys believe what she speaks about? And do you question her not being married at her age and having a family and all of that? Do you look at that as a slight to the things that she talk about when it comes to men and relationships? I want to know your thoughts on it. Do you prefer a person to have the things that they speak about? Do you think that it's better coming from a person who actually had the experience in their lives if they're telling you that it's possible? Do you think experience is the best teacher? Do you think that if you're going to speak on marriages and how to make them work and what men and women should be doing, and if you understand that solely, but they don't have it, do you think that that's a red flag? I want to know your thoughts on it. Y'all chime in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what Cam Newton had to say, what Corey Holcomb had to say, what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant had to say. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. So that's my little 2 cents. I hope I didn't ramble. I hope I made some kind of sense for you guys. Make sure you chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.